Hi guys, Paul Pluta on the Paul Pluta channel. And today guys, I'm doing a paid review for Wade. And this review here is for Wade. He says, "Dear Archie, quick wristwatch check. I'm wearing the Omega Speedmaster. Man on the fucking moon. Man on the moon, fuckers. And I gotta tell you, fuckaroonies, I gotta tell you, I've been paid here from Wayne to discuss. Hey Arch, I'm a big fan and still laughing over your YouTube discussion on JEWELLERY Atmos clocks. Can you please review, and I will pay for the deluxe review, $100 US. My watch of interest is the JEWELLERY Master Compressor. That's right, the Master Compressor US Navy Diver. So what do I think of this watch? That is a really cool question, and I gotta be honest with you there. The Master Compressor, that is a very interesting line. It's a line that is, how do I put it? They can be very soft on the secondary market. They can be very soft there. And it's a bit of a shame because JEWELLERY really does make some wonderful pieces. I've got my Reverso Grande. That's a really cool piece. The JEWELLERY Master Compressor Diving Navy Seals, I think, is the one you're referring to there. They've got quite a few cool pieces. The Master Compressor is sort of JEWELLERY's extreme sports type of segment there. It's they kind of went after I think with the Master Compressor they went after the AP sort of market. They're big, bulky, they're kind of very, very cool. That's probably the best way to refer to them. I would really say to you that they have some really atrocious used values. That is probably the biggest problem with JEWELLERY in this day and age. They are fucking hard to sell. I mean, with Audemars Piguet, they're kind of a one-trick pony. It's Royal Oak or nothing. Anything else that's not Royal Oak, fuck me dead. Fuck me dead. They can be very, very hard to sell there. It's kind of difficult. I gotta be completely frank and honest with you. The JEWELLERY Master Compressor line is a line that does appeal to me. Now the watch you're referring to there, the JEWELLERY Master Compressor Diving Automatic Navy Seals watch. This is a cool piece. This is a watch that came out at SIHH. When did it fucking come out? Was it 2011 or maybe a bit before that? And it's a very, very, very cool thing. It's quite a cool watch there. There's a version with the alarm watch built with it there, which is, if you like that sort of thing there. These are big, chunky fuckers. They were in the 42 to 44 mil range, and they were quite tall, quite high as well. So that they weren't sort of discreet watches there at all. I gotta say, in many ways, I think they're an attractive watch, but when I was looking for a retro diver, I personally went the Breitling Super Ocean Heritage 2. That's the way I decided to go there. The base movement in them, the caliber, they use a caliber 899 movement. It's 43-hour power reserve. Great. You know, the big thing about the master watch movements, the master control or master compressor, is the 1,000 hours control, which is in-house testing for quality, durability, accuracy in each movement solved. Now this does cost a lot of money to actually do there. I gotta tell you, this is a big chunky sort of watch there. Jaeger-LeCoultre is following PAM, AP with their AP offshore diver. It's a high-end piece there, and I gotta be completely honest with you, it's not to everyone's taste, but it is nicely done there. What do I think of this sort of piece here? Would I buy one? That's a fairly good question. I quite like it. Jaeger-LeCoultre is a brand that in better times they had more resale value. They've got some pretty... The Reversos tend to be, you know, classic dress watch Jaeger-LeCoultre. The Master Control is respected as the circular conservative dress watch. The Master Compressor, they tend to be a little bit soft there. And it just, I don't think there's anything wrong with the Jaeger-LeCoultre. It just shows you how competitive the market is out there. There's some really fucking nasty, you know, a lot of competition. You've got Rolex Submariners, you've got every neck of the woods. You've got the high end, you've got AP with the Royal Oak offshore diver, you've got Blancpain with their 50 fathoms. You've got a lot of pieces fighting in that space, and of course, the other thing, of course, is the fact that you've got Rolex, which is dive watch, the Submariner, the Sea Dweller, the Deep Sea. They really do dominate that space. So with Jaeger-LeCoultre, they've gone a different way about this. They've gone in for their movements. Jaeger-LeCoultre is famous for their movements. And I gotta be honest with you, they have some fantastic watches there at a fairly good price point. Now, the only problem is some of these watches can be a real bitch to sell. And if you jump on Chrono 24 there, you can pick some pieces up at really amazing prices. The problem is if you want to get out of them, it becomes fairly hard. And I've got to be honest with you, I had a guy I knew. We were friends, and I think we've ended the friendship because he had a Jaeger-LeCoultre Master. What was it? It was a fucking Master Compressor. It was a chronograph vintage diver reissue, and we were trying to do a deal, and I said, I got an Explorer 2, we could swap. I was just trying to put that in the go, and sure enough, he says, I don't think it's that great. Explorer 2, they're just a piece of shit, blah blah. And I got really fucked off with him because everything I had was garbage. Everything he had, of course, is super valuable, fuckers. Super valuable. And I kind of said to him, I said, you know, let's be fucking realistic here. Jaeger-LeCoultre, hard. Very hard sort of... very hard watch to resell, very hard to slide out, and it is a great watch, but I think JEWELLERY's genre is the reverso. That's my first port of call. You know, you look at things like the Master. They've got a beautiful the Master Compressor. I love the Jewellery. That's quite a cool piece. You know, they are a bulky, chunky watch from a top end maker. Not a lot of money compared to other watches. I mean, these are a high end piece of horology. These are very, very cool pieces. I would really say you've got to go into JEWELLERY Master Compressors and realize they can be fucking hard to get out of. They're an amazing piece. They are a cool piece, but they can also be fucking impossible to shift. So a lot of watch people, they flip, they get cut, they move into one thing, then they move out, they move in, they move out. And I got to be honest with you, if you want to flip a watch, I think you could buy a JEWELLERY, but you could also do your ass on a JEWELLERY. If you need to sell it, you can lose some serious coin. So it's kind of something you've got to buy if you really want, and you're prepared to live with it until the grave, because you may need to adjust your expectations. And you know, I had a bit of an argument with a friend of mine. He's sort of saying, oh, it's this, and it is a high-end brand, I get it, but they are fucking hard. And he was a bit of a pompous fucker. He wouldn't cut me any slack, and I just said to him, come on, you know, you've got to be realistic. I mean, I love JEWELLERY, but I realize they're fucking hard to move, certain ones. I mean, the Master Control seems to be a lot easier. That genre, that dress watch genre, they seem to excel at. They excel at. Whereas the Master Compressor, even though I love the Master Compressor, I'm not sure it's a line I'd go into. There's so much competition, and it makes it, you're fighting in this space which is highly competitive. And I mean, at the end of the day, I'd probably, if you're going to spend that money, you're better off to get a fucking Rolex Submariner. You're better off to get a Rolex Submariner. And I don't mean that in a nasty kind of context, but that's where the smart money would go, because you'll always get your money back. Whereas on these sort of things, it doesn't matter how great it is, they can be a difficult fucker to shift and move on. So, yeah, that's kind of my opinion there. That's where I'm coming from. It is a great watch. It's an amazing watch. But it can be a bit of a bitch. It can be a bit of a bitch. And the next thing you're asking is about the Atmos clocks. How many? I've had about 3 Atmos clocks. The first one I had, I actually bought in Thailand, in Bangkok. I bought it from a guy, a dealer who was just desperate. I bought it relatively cheaply, and it worked. And then I flicked it. Then I bought another one in Australia, which it worked for a couple of hours. Then it kind of didn't. And then when did I have my third one? Oh, yes, I had another one I bought in Australia that never really worked well. So I've had a few of them. The happiest moment when you buy an Atmos clock is when you buy it, and then when you sell the fucking thing, because watchmakers hate them. They hate them with a vengeance. And they don't really understand them, and they don't want to understand them. So my best advice is avoid like the fucking plague. Paul Pluta on the Paul Pluta channel discussing JEWELLERY. Tell me what you fuckers think of that. Guys, it's really dishonest to jump into bed with garbage. It's really dishonest. It's really dishonest. I mean, I've been approached hundreds of times by shitter brands. I said no. I said no, no shitters, no shitters. So just remember that when you're picking your YouTube gurus, don't always go for the one who everything's wonderful, everything's great, because it ain't the case. It ain't all fucking wonderful.
I'm only signing it because it costs nothing. So this is the congratulations to everybody.
Oh, and don't forget, fuckaroonies, like, subscribe, and tell your fuckhead friends. And don't forget to mention the Archie Luxury Travel channel. That's where I'm doing live shows, fuckers.